Identify high probability setups in 15 minutes or less. Take your trade, whether it's a buy or sell, you put your stop loss for your take profit, and then you just set and forget. You can literally go to work, hit the gym, literally do whatever you want. All you have to do is occasionally just check up on the trade to see if it's hit your take profit. And then 2 days later, boom, your profits have been made. This is what a swing trading operation looks like, or at least the way that I do it. So what is swing trading? So the Google definition of trading is a trade that is held past 1 day or more, or usually like a week, right? But what swing trading really is just trading with the higher time frames, whether they are the weekly, daily time frames, and you're just using this as your take profit zones because you're setting and forgetting. You're using the higher time frames to reach a larger profit. Not saying you can't make money with scalps or with the smaller trades, but it's a lot more volatile and you're more prone to get stopped out. When you're trading with swing trading or intraday trading the way that I do, you're trading with the higher time frames. You're a lot better winning and your chances of winning are a lot higher because you're going with the majority of the time frames. You're pro trend trading, and I preach this all of the time. Now, how is this different from other types of trading? Let's say scalping, day trading, or even intraday trading. So basically what scalping is, you're just in and out within the hour, 2-3 hours, or also the session. You're basically in and out fast. You just want to get money in the day, you want to catch a quick move, and then you're out. So this is actually what 99% of traders try when they first come to the markets because they see it as easy, quick money. But this is where the majority of traders get, smacked by the markets and they get their stop losses and they just get hit by the market very hard because they come in too aggressive to scalping. Then next we have day trading. So day trading is also a very common style of trading because you're just in and out within the day. So you either have a trade in the morning, you get out by the nighttime, or you get in at nighttime, you get out by the morning, which is a very common way of trading. And I've kind of been implementing something like it very recently with my strategy, and it is extremely effective. Intraday is when you're holding for a little bit longer than a day trade. So day trade and intraday, you're pretty much buying on like 4-hour zones, 2-hour zones, 1-hour zones, and then you're maybe having daily take profits, but you're just in and out with the day, so you're just using the 4-hour structure and the daily structure mainly. Then next we have swing trading, which is I'd say the best one out of all of them because I have a mix of all the different types of trading with my swing trading strategy. So basically using the higher time frames to identify the trend, so then pretty much buy with the trend, and then you use daily time frames to kind of have your little smaller zones, and then you use the lower time frames like 4-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour to get into the trade to then have the longer take profits, meaning that you have the most precise entries because you use the lower time frames, and then you have the largest take profits because you're using the higher time frames. So these are some of the pros and cons of swing trading. The big pros right off the bat is you make way more money because you have larger take profits. Since you're going with the higher time frames, you are less prone to losing because you're pro trend trading. So not only do you make more money, but you're more likely to make more money. And then since you're going with the trend, you're less likely to lose. So you're not losing as much when you're swing trading. Along with the fact that it is the most easiest and it is the less stress. So it requires minimal amount of time with minimal amount of effort, whether you're entering trade or whether you're just set and forgetting, letting it hit your take profit or
your stop loss. Your stop loss is gonna get hit, I'm not gonna lie.
The cons, is really only one con, and that's that it just requires patience. A lot of traders, they wanna come into the market and they wanna take 10 trades the same day. That's not how this works. I've gone a whole week without taking a trade, and it's beautiful because I'm just standing on the sidelines watching everybody's stop loss get hit while I'm just waiting for a nice trade setup to pop up. So when you're not involved in the markets, it's good because the swing trading gets you out where you're not supposed to be in, and it gets you in right when you're supposed to be in. I say the only con is patience because you can probably take 1, 2, maybe 3 trades a week, but if each trade has a 1 to 3 risk to reward, to me that's positive all day, and it's stress-free. So this is a side note. The most important thing when swing trading is the trend is your friend. You want to go wherever the majority of the market's going. So that is one. The second one being you need to buy with a weekly or daily area of interest. That is it. I don't care if the 4-hour looks good. I don't care if the 2-hour looks good. It does not matter. The 4-hour and 2-hour zones are not going to be respected as strong or as solid as the weekly or daily. And that is a simple fact. I can pull out the receipts. You take 10 trades buying at a daily area of interest and 10 trades buying at a 4-hour area of interest. Your 10 trades on the daily area of interest are going to win more than the 4-hour. That is a simple fact because the zones are much stronger and much more respected. Before we go to the charts and I show you some of my swing trades, I've created a class to where anyone can master my most profitable skill ever, where it can make you generate anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 every single month, with realistically only dedicating probably an hour or two a day. To watch it, click on this video right here. Make sure to watch it after this class is over so everything is done. So make sure to watch this video once we're done with this one. All right, so now I'm gonna walk you guys through this trade where I made $85,000 in under 24 hours, almost breaking my record if I would have just set and forget a little bit more, but you know, but it's okay. So I'm gonna walk you guys through from the moment that I analyzed it on Sunday Swings to all the way where I entered, where I placed my stop loss, where I entered, where I put my take profit, everything. I'm gonna walk you guys through the whole entire trade, so make sure you guys pay attention. So the first thing when we go to the market we already know is we identify the trend. Where is the trend going? You guys already know, I said this earlier, the trend is your friend. You wanna go wherever the majority of the markets are going. So if you notice here, we have the weekly time frame is bearish. So as you can tell, this market structure is headed to the downside, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then this is where we potentially created a new lower high, obviously if we end up breaking under. So right now we can tell the weekly is bearish. So yes, I do this for every single trade because if you're not holding yourself accountable to mark up your charts and follow your trading plan, then who is? Nobody's gonna be behind you while you're trading and be like, hey, make sure to do that. So this is where a lot of traders, they fail and they just end up losing because they don't hold themselves accountable. I literally do this for every single trade. So weekly time frame is bearish. Then we go down to the daily time frame. And as you can tell, the daily time frame went from being bullish to being bearish. So we were here creating higher highs and higher lows, to then creating lower lows and lower highs. So at the time of us taking this very trade right here, we were bearish. As you guys can tell, we have here daily time frame bearish. So this would be the lower high, and then this would be the lower low. Because this is the higher high, this is the higher low, we then broke the structure. So this time frame here is now bearish. So actually this would be the lower high, and then this would be the lower low. So at the time of us taking this trade, this is exactly what it looked like. So after we identify that the daily is bearish, then we go down to the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, we would do the same exact thing. And as you guys can tell, the 4 hour structure is also bearish because we were creating higher highs and higher lows, and then we shifted to the downside, making this time frame bearish. So the lower low would be here, and then the lower high would be here. So as long as we remained under these two lines, literally we can do here whatever we want, we are bearish. The moment we body close above, we go bullish. The moment we body close under, then this turns into the new lower low, and then this turns into the lower high. So this is where we would then identify that the 4 hour is bearish as well. Meaning we have 3 time frames in sync. All time frames are going down. Why would you be interested in buying on the 1 hour time frame or 38-minute time frame or 15-minute? It is a waste of time. You only want to take a trade where the majority of the markets are going. This is what I express every single Sunday when I get on the call with the students. So as you can tell here, the weekly time frame is bearish, the daily time frame is bearish, and then the 4 hour time frame is bearish. The only thing that makes sense is to sell. So if we're only looking to sell, we're gonna only find an area of interest to sell. So now this is where I only look for my areas of interest on the daily or the weekly area of interest. So as you can tell, I found this zone on the daily because we need a minimum of 3 touches to find our area of interest. This is where we have area of interest, touch 1, touch 2, and then touch 3. So we have 3 touches on the area of interest, making this a solid area of interest. Whenever we are above, we're buying. Whenever we are under, we're selling. Whenever we are above, we're buying. Whenever we are under, we're selling. So in this case, not only are we under the area of interest, but all time frames are heading down. So it's like you're setting yourself up for success right now. So after we understand that the 3 time frames are in sync, my next confluence is we are selling at a daily area of interest. Again, I can only identify an area of interest if we have a minimum of 3 touches. So this right here, the way that I grade it is that every time frame is a 10% towards your grade in terms of trend. So this right here, this is going to be 10%. This is going to be 10%. And then this is going to be 10%. So let's say, for example, that the 4 hour would be bullish. So let's just suppose that this is bullish, like this. Then this would only make this trade a 20% because we only have 2 time frames in order to take the sell. Let's say you want to take the buy for whatever crazy reason, then this would only be a 10% towards your grade because you only have the 4 hour bullish. Again, I only identify trend in these 3 time frames. Everything under here is simply for entry signals. So obviously we're not looking to buy because that makes no sense. We want the majority time frames in our favor. So this is where we have the 3 time frames in sync, giving us all 3 time frames together, giving us a 30%. If we're buying or selling at a daily or weekly area of interest, this is where I would then add also a 10% to my grade. And this just goes on. My strategy and my confidence just go on for a series of like 10 different ones where I end up giving a grade to the trade where then I can basically identify whether it's gonna be a B setup, C setup, A setup, and I usually don't take any trades under a C. By the way, I graduated high school with a 2.57 GPA, which is a C in America. That is fine. I take a C to my mom and she's happy. She's phenomenal. So I'm gonna take trades that are C+. Anything under makes no sense. So I'm just applying the same thing. So as you guys can tell here, after we identify that we have our area of interest, this is where I would then go down to the 4 hour. In the 4 hour, I have to wait for it to touch my area of interest. Once we come to our area of interest, this is where I can identify, wow, we're having a rejection from EMA, rejection from structure, let's just put here, from 4 hour structure. We also have a, we also have a 4 hour rejection candlestick, so on and so forth. So if you notice, we're building a series of confluences to take the trade. So then this is where I would wait for the session to hit, whether it's New York or London session. After here, this is where I entered the trade on the 30-minute time frame on this bearish engulfing and on this potential left head, right shoulder. So this is where I would come here and I would just add 30-minute bearish engulfing. So the confluence 6 would be 30-minute bearish engulfing. 7 would be head and shoulders. 8 would be rejection from 30-minute EMA. Like, you see how I'm building a series of confluences? And again, keep in mind, all of these confluences have a certain grade towards the trade. That is exactly what I break down and I explain in my set and forget strategy. So this trade right here, after I identified my entry point, which is going to be after this bearish engulfing, I put my stop loss above the right shoulder because again, we have left head, right shoulder, and I'm gonna be fully transparent and completely honest. This was a very tight stop loss. I usually have my stop loss above the head because again, this right here, this could have decided to have created a larger right shoulder to then keep going to the downside. But since I saw such a strong 30-minute bearish engulfing with taking the trade at 8 in the morning, as you guys can tell down here, here's pretty much, again, setting yourself up for success because you know New York session is about to kick in. So there's a lot of momentum that's gonna hit this trade. So this is why I had my stop loss a little bit tighter on this trade. And this is where I identified my take profit on a daily zone. Because again, I am a swing/intraday trader. So if I am using the higher time frames to identify the trend, why would I place 4 hour, 1 hour take profits? It's kind of, you're leaving so much money on the table. So this is where I would enter on the 1 hour, 30-minute, 4 hour to look for my entries. And then my take profit is based off of the next structure point. So this is where I come here on the daily time frame and I notice the next structure point has this solid zone right here where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, and I just found the next round psychological level, which is 8,900. I usually like to get out right before it hits the round psychological level, because usually what happens is that you have this exact situation here where it tapped it barely to the T. So I ended up closing this trade not fully at my take profit, and obviously some brokers aren't gonna hit it because, you know, spread and stuff, but my actual trade profit ended up hitting somewhere around here because I just more than I needed, because I need a minimum of a 1 to 2 risk to reward to take a trade. I don't really need anything more. Anything more would be great, but I'd say it's almost being a little bit greedy. And this trade probably took anywhere from like, I think this trade literally took like 6-8 hours to play out. It was very fast, so I didn't have to set and forget that long. So as you guys saw with my simple strategy, I catch these trades all of the time. That's why I think swing trading is one of the best approaches to take to the market, because it is stress-free. And then when you catch the trend, you can have immense profits with little to no drawdown, because you're setting yourself up for success. You're not just buying on the lower time frames, fighting the markets. If you're scalping, you're literally fighting the markets. You want to catch an impulse up or catch an impulse down. Versus when you're swing trading, intraday trading like I do, you're just going with the flow of the market. Let's say the current of the ocean is going north. You're gonna just ride the wave north on the long run, versus catching those little ripples back how the scalpers do. Nothing against you guys, but I just personally think swing trading is a lot more effective and the profits are much larger. And truthfully, thanks to swing trading and the way that I trade, I've been able to create massive amounts of wealth. And you, the person watching this video right now, I'm sure you're starting with 0 or something, just like I did. I literally started with nothing. I was at Dunkin' Donuts 5 years ago. No knowledge, no experience, no contacts, no degree, little to no money, until one day. One day I got there, once I mastered the skill set. And then I got to the point where money stopped being the main thing. That's why I started doing these things. Just giving back to you guys and dropping all of this wisdom that I've learned over the course of 5 years, learning this endless and I'd say beautiful craft, because you learn so much about yourself. And I started doing these videos just because people were demanding on how did I get these sniper entries and how did I learn how to analyze the markets. So simple. And I used to just do it on my Instagram stories all of the time, but there's so much time you can just put into an Instagram story. So I just started putting these videos together for you guys, and you guys love it. And now I'm helping people reach the same exact results that I have, so they can live the life of their dreams and literally do whatever they want, so they don't ever have to go back to a job ever again. So if you want to know more about my set and forget strategy, and you want to see if you can make anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a week as a beginner's trader using my set and forget strategy in under 3 months, just hit the link in the description below, where there's a video there where it's going to teach you more about my strategy. And if you want, I can literally be your mentor. I teach my students every single week. I enter 1 weekly Zoom call with them. We chat it up in the Discord, where I'm literally dropping wisdom back and forth, learning from them, and then you guys learning from me, where I give you guys my top 3, top 4 pairs for the week, where I teach the traders to become profitable in under 3 months if they follow my strategy to the T. So I appreciate you guys watching this video all the way to the end. If you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.